I joined because I wanted to do something fun with my mom. I think it's wonderful to meet women in the community who are like-minded and wanting to preserve this historical view of women in society, but also talk about how, it affects us today and how we can also share it with our children.
You meet women from all over and all different walks of life, and everybody has the same feeling of empowering women and exposing the next generation and teaching our daughters to be strong women and not to be afraid of being a strong woman.
And you walk through the museum and you can see all these wonderful things that the Annie Oakley Society has achieved in the past. It makes me really excited for what we can do in the future. I look forward to all of the events because I never know who I'm going to talk to. The group is so exciting and different and all ages. Oh, we have a great time.
Welcome to the 12th Annie Oakley Society Luncheon and Awards. Please welcome the President and CEO of the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum, Pat Fitzgerald.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be attending the Annie Oakley Society Luncheon as the museum's president and CEO. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the museum today. The Annie Oakley Society is such an important partner to the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. When you start a new job, you start to learn how the internal dynamics work. I came to the museum at an exciting time. Rachel Koshkomo was just coming to fruition, and so many other initiatives were in the works. Here's what I learned right away. The Annie Oakley Society is committed to the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in a way that I have seldom seen with other support groups, especially with these three women, and man are they powerhouses, at the helm of the society. I know there is no stopping this force and movement of making this museum a better place for not only everyone in this room, but also for my kids, my grandkids, of which I have 4 granddaughters, and generations to come. Just like Annie Oakley, who challenged the norms over time and created new opportunities for herself and women who came after her, the women in the society do just that. Today, event celebrates you and the work you are doing for future generations, upholding the code of the West while forging a path into the future. And of course, we will also celebrate today's honoree, Miss Kathie Gifford. Well, I've talked about them, you all know them, and you love them, but I get the honor to introduce them. So here are the 3 women who have been guiding the Annie Oakley Society since the inception, the co-founders of the Annie Oakley Society, Kathie Keating and Lynn Fries, and the chair of the Annie Oakley Society, Judy Hatfield.
Okay, here we go. We don't want you to miss it. Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Here we go. These foods are big and empowering, and that's just what we do. And every day together we dream big and aim high too. Woo! Okay, a little bit.
Thank you, Pat. And welcome to the 12th Annie Oakley Society Luncheon. Lynn, Judy, and I thank you for being here with us today as we honor the spirit of Annie Oakley. We are also eager to celebrate this year's honoree and my very dear friend, Kathie Lee Gifford. Throughout her career, Kathie Lee helped us all start our days with positivity, challenged and sharpened our faith with her scholarship, and she entertained us. And boy, can she entertain us. She has faced adversity and hardship with grace and been a change agent in communities for which she cares. Kathie Lee embodies the spirit we wanted to encourage when we founded this society that we all love so very much.
The Annie Oakley Society is an influential group of women leaders affiliated with the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. and we celebrate the achievements of outstanding women who have made significant contributions to society and who are role models for future generations. We recently completed our signature project, Licho Koshkimo. That's easy to say. Licho Koshkimo. So everybody together, Licho Koshkimo. Okay, good. Means let's play in Chickasaw, just FYI. This is a premier outdoor educational experience and playscape, and it centers around people, places, and perseverance. Because of you all, this hands-on, minds-on adventure has made history and culture more accessible than ever. If you have not seen Licho Koshkimo, we encourage you to visit this incredible outdoor space following the luncheon on this gorgeous day.
By now, we're aiming higher. Our important work continues as we honor the past and inspire the present and empower the future of women. Annie Oakley, a trailblazing figure in American history, is the Society's namesake. By sharing Annie Oakley's incredible story, a tale of resilience, determination, and breaking barriers, our group hopes to inspire the same kind of grit in women and girls today and empower the next generation to achieve greatness through perseverance. We'd like for you to hear from one of our members about what membership in the Annie Oakley Society has meant to her.
The Annie Oakley Society is tremendously focused on the professional and personal growth of its members. Through AOS, I have met an incredibly diverse number of women, like-minded women who share my ambitions and my values. Those relationships are invaluable in terms of mentorship, especially navigating an industry like the one I work in that's historically been dominated by males. It is so important to me to have those personal connections with women who have already blazed a trail in their careers, in motherhood, and in supporting their community, as well as sharing the hardships and empathy of women in the same seasons of life that I'm going through, and not just here in Oklahoma City, but across the Western United States. At the heart of Annie Oakley Society is its support of education. Having completed the beautiful Licho Koshkimo that you see behind me, the Society is committed to continuing to support education for children so that they can learn the beautiful ways and values of the American West. The cowgirl is a symbol of the West as the backbone of their communities, demonstrating courage, resourcefulness, and possessing an unyielding sense of self. Joining the Annie Oakley Society connects you with a group of women who exemplify all of these characteristics, whether you've got cowboy boots or not.
I just love hearing from our members about how important our special group is to them. I know it means a lot to me, but hearing from you about how you connect with and inspire one another really warms my heart. We encourage both women and men, there are a few men in the room, and we thank you for being here, to join us as we share the spirit and courage of Annie Oakley. We are thankful to be joined by several special guests. Please stand when I call your name. Governor Frank Keating, I know you. You can, now that you've clapped for Frank, you can hold the applause until I list everybody else. Representative Rhonda Baker, please remain standing too. Representative Sherry Conley, Denise Crosswhite-Hayter, Representative Tony Hassenbach, Representative Mark McBride, Representative Nicole Miller, Representative Marilyn Stark, Representative Tammy Townley, Representative Tammy West, and Oklahoma State University President Dr. Casey Schrum. Now, please give them a round of applause. And last, but certainly not least, we want to recognize and thank all our Annie Oakley Society leadership members. Thank you all for all you do. I'm not through. In addition to those in the room, we want to take a moment to recognize someone not with us today. The Annie Oakley Society lost a dear friend yesterday. One of our founding members and honorees, Judy Love, was a force for good in so many ways, and her leadership and generosity will have a lasting impact on our community for years to come. She was an ardent supporter of the Annie Oakley Society. She was our 2017 recipient of the Annie Oakley Society Lifetime Achievement Award and will always be one of my very dearest friends.
We lost other beloved women this year, including Linda Davis, our first female museum board member, and our first Lifetime Achievement honoree. Two of the other founding members, Janine Nafee and LaDonna Minders, sorry, only 2 hours sleep from Florida.
These three founding members brought us to where we are today, 12 years later. In case you're curious, there are some brochures on your table to talk a little bit about additional membership information, and we hope that you will join this incredible society. Your membership in the Annie Oakley Society sponsors dynamic educational programming to stimulate interest in the enduring legacy of the American West. Your program highlights a list of all the fun events we're going to have in 2025 as a member of the Annie Oakley Society, and you are invited to attend. Please join us. There's also an envelope for any of you all that have small change or large bills. If you would put those in the envelope for today, you can make another contribution to the Annie Oakley Society. Any amount is great. It's all tax deductible. So we also will have Amy right outside the door if you have any questions about membership, so she can let you know how much fun it is. We really love the Annie Oakley Society.
And we are also very grateful for our generous supporters. On screen during lunch, you will see all of our sponsors recognized, as well as our past Annie Oakley Society Award honorees. We would like to give a special thank you to Barbara Green for being our presenting sponsor today. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara, for your longtime support and the generosity of the Annie Oakley Society. We are also so appreciative to the Chickasaw Nation for being our bullseye sponsor for today's luncheon. And to our Heart of the Bullseye sponsors, Eventures, who did this beautiful room. Is this not amazing? As well as Bob Funk Sr. and Express Employment Professionals. These inspiring individuals have displayed the grit of Annie Oakley and the spirit of the West as they have achieved individual success and inspired our community. Thank you.
Intertwined with our celebration of the spirit of the West is our love of the resilience and determination of our people. From the mountains to the prairies, we ask God to bless this land that we love. Joining us today as our special guests, we have some young ladies from Oklahoma's first charter school, Aztec Charter Schools, and they're going to sing God Bless America. You can either stand or remain seated. We elected for you all to continue to stay seated today to make it easier for you, but we know that you all are in the spirit of this beautiful song. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain,
Thank you, ladies, for that wonderful performance. We are so grateful you are here with us today and thankful for all of our blessings. Here to lead us in our invocation and another true representative of the Society's spirit, please welcome Annie Oakley Society member, 2018 Annie Oakley Award honoree, and co-owner of Keller Williams International, Mo Anderson.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, majestic is your name. Powerful are your precepts. And we come with grateful hearts for the privilege of honoring Kathie Lee Gifford. We thank you for the example that she's been to all of us for years. And may she be blessed because of her trip to Oklahoma City. And now we pray for comfort, for love, and for peace for the Love family and our precious, precious friend who's now with you. And it is in the name of Jesus that we pray, as we ask you to bless our food, bless our fellowship, and may we rejoice in the love that you give us every day. It is in his name I pray. Amen.
Where is it? Okay, thank you. And now, we'd like to invite you to enjoy the company at your table as lunch is served. Our program will resume shortly. Thank you.
The Annie Oakley Society's celebration of women who break boundaries and lead with courage resonates deeply with me. It aligns with my values and experiences growing up in a small town near the King Ranch, where the rich history of the West and Mexican culture and traditions have long intertwined. Living at the crossroads of two cultures sometimes creates barriers that aren't easy to overcome. My involvement with the Annie Oakley Society these past 6 years has been life-changing, both personally and professionally. Together, we embody the true essence of Annie Oakley. Strong, fearless, and devoted to making a difference. To all the incredible women and girls, I want you to know that your strength, determination, and voice are powerful beyond measure. Like Annie Oakley, who defied the odds and broke through barriers, each of you has the potential to blaze your own trail and make a lasting impact. Remember that your challenges can sometimes be a stepping stone to greatness. Embrace your unique journey, stay true to who you are, and never be afraid to take your shot. Aim high.
Join us.
Join us. Join us.
We hope that all of you all really enjoyed that fun lunch today, but more importantly, we hope that you enjoyed the conversations at your table. I think that everybody's getting to meet somebody new at the tables, and that's part of the fun of the girls getting together, even if the boys are here with us today, too, on their best behavior. So anyway, we also hope that you had a little bit of time to look at the brochures and take care of the envelopes and anything else that you might want to do with those. And don't forget that at the end of our wonderful event today, we will have Amy at the door to answer any questions that you might have. So look forward to that. Now, please join me in welcoming to the stage Julie Twilley, a very special personal friend of Kathie Lee Gifford.
In 1972, I was 25 years old, pregnant, and married to an NFL football player. I met this adorable 18-year-old who was helping my friend Anita Bryant with her children and learning as much as she could from Anita about show business. I just thought she was adorable. Well, a year passed, I had my baby, and I was back in Tulsa, and I got a call from Anita, and she said, Kathie has decided that she would like to go to college, and I have called Oral and have arranged for her to become one of the World Action Singers. And she's coming to Tulsa, and I kind of want you to keep an eye on her, make sure she's okay. Well, our home became her home away from home, and she became dear to Howard and I. When it came time for Kathie to go to Los Angeles to follow her dream in show business, Howard and I knew that she was going to make it big. There was no doubt. We stayed in touch throughout the next decade or so, and when Kathie found the love of her life, Frank Gifford, we had another connection. Howard and Frank knew each other. They were old-time football players, so they connected. We spent vacation times. We just had our lives interconnected from the get-go. At that time, when we lived in Tulsa during the off-season, I got to know Kathie Keating. She was in my circle of friends. We have children the same age, so naturally, carpools, all those things, play groups. And I just thought Kathie and Frank were really special. And I remember Kathie telling me when I married Frank, he told me that he wanted to go into the political life, and was I game? And sure enough, they were a big success. It's been fun to follow Kathie Gifford and Kathie Keating. I never knew who was going to be on the front page of the paper when I opened the Tulsan or the Oakley. Didn't know it was going to be the governor or my TV star friend. Kathie's always shown an interest in my boys, and I've loved watching Cody and Cassidy grow up. Now they're married. They've become parents. It's just amazing how fast the cycle of life goes. And yes, Frank and Kathie with a C were hard to keep separated too, so we knew about them all the time. And Kathie would invite her Tulsa friends over for Christmas, and we always got to go to the governor's mansion and bring Christmas ornaments for the tree, and just had lots of neat memories with Kathie and Frank and Kathie and Frank. Keep that straight, right? Well, right now you're going to hear a little bit more about Frank and Kathie Keating, and they're going to talk to you about their friend and my friend, Kathie Lee Gifford.
Hi, I'm Frank Keating.
And I'm Kathie Keating, and we are thrilled to be here to honor our very dear friend, Kathie Lee Gifford. Kathie and I met when we were carpooling children in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and she was Julie Twilley's babysitter, and Julie was very quick to tell me that this fabulous ORU student was her babysitter, and I was never to call her. And I didn't, but I fell in love with her then and have gotten to know her much better since. Kathie Lee is being honored by the Annie Oakley Society because she embodies all the qualities of Annie Oakley. She's an entrepreneur, she's honest, she has integrity, she's talented, she's made a difference in the lives of others. And one of the qualifications of being honored by the Annie Oakley Society is that not only that she embodies the spirit of Annie Oakley, but that she also is a leader in the community, and she's making a difference in the lives of others, and she's blazing new trails. And Kathie has done that since I think she was little, but we've gotten to watch her grow up over the years and make a significant difference in many different ways, but in the lives of many. She's had a line of clothing that she designed and sold. She's been a TV host, a movie star, a talented singer, and an author of serious religious matter. So she's a scholar as well. My favorite thing that she has ever done is she brought her Christmas extravaganza to Oklahoma City a year and a half after the bombing to honor Oklahoma City getting back up on their feet after the terrible tragedy. So she was with us in our darkest hour, helping us heal and helping us get better. And for that, I will always be grateful. Oklahomans will always be grateful. And we feel like we're welcoming her back home.
Congratulations, Kathie Lee Gifford, on this special recognition. You deserve it, and we love you.
We love you, Kathie. Congratulations.
Kathie has always been authentic, and she shared her life with all of us before social media or oversharing were even buzzwords. How many times can you think of watching the morning show and learning about her children and learning about her husband as she chatted with Regis? And there wasn't even an Instagram at that time, but we knew everything. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. Oh, well, you all know that Kathie can sing, she can dance, she can act, she can write books, she can write and produce musicals, she's written and produced movies. She is so talented in so many ways. But she can also decorate with a beautiful style. She once told me that she was happiest when she had a wallpaper book in her lap. Can you relate to that? That's our Kathie. But the one thing that I know most of all, Kathie Lee Gifford is the best at being a friend. Kathie has always lived by principles that exemplify our namesake, Annie Oakley, without even being aware of it. And through it all, she had her big smile, her sparkling personality, and her unshakable determination. I'm excited to welcome to the stage the 2024 Annie Oakley Society honoree, Kathie Lee Gifford.
Am I here?
Oh, no, you're, hey, Kathie, don't sit yet.
Don't sit
down.
down. Okay.
We're going to take a picture.
Okay.
Okay, you're in the middle.
She's tinier than I thought.
Do you know, Annie Oakley actually was 5 feet tall.
I knew that.
my
I read that.
gosh.
Yes.
Tiny, tiny.
And she probably didn't wear stilettos.
No.
No. She had no Gucci loafers either, I'm sure. But wow, this is really wonderful. Thank you. How am I getting this one?
On the plane. or we'll mail it.
No, I'm kidding.
Do we have it?
Okay, you good?
Do you have it?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
You're sitting.
All right.
I'm exiting for you.
Oh, I need my lipstick. The one thing in life. You know why I can never go to prison, you guys? Really. I go the speed limit because if they pull you over where I live in Tennessee, they throw you in jail. They throw you in jail. And so they don't let you have your tweezers or your lipstick. And those are the two things I cannot live without. So yeah, if you ever see that I've gone to prison, please pray for me that somebody will sneak me some tweezers and a little bit of lip gloss. Thank you. Hi, everybody, by the way.
So maybe we won't do Q&A and just let her keep on talking.
No.
This
This is going to be fun, I hope. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can.
So first of all, isn't this the best thing ever to have Kathie back in Oklahoma?
Oh, thank you, sweetie. It's nice to be back.
Is that too much?
Yeah, I've got that microphone. It is lovely. I did go to Oral Roberts University for about 2.5 years, and that I made some great friends in Tulsa. I didn't graduate. I'm a dropout.
But you have a degree in life.
I also have actually a PhD. An honorary PhD from Marymount University in Washington, D.C. for all the work I did. Did you go there?
No, I was on their board for years.
Oh,
I had nothing to do with your degree, though.
No, you know what? That one I earned because that was when I went through the whole situation with the sweatshops. It was just one of the darkest periods of my life. But I learned so much about the reality of them. And so they gave me an honorary one for that. And I said, you know what, most of the honorary ones, people don't earn them. You know, I earned that one. I really did.
I think we would all agree that you did. And you came through that with such grace and showed such courage and bravery in how you approached responding to that. And we got to watch, unfortunately for you, but we got to watch all of that on television play out in the news hours. And you know, you never wavered. You were strong. And
you didn't see me at home at night.
Well,
you know,
but we all understood that was going on.
It was just to be accused. I've been an advocate for children my entire life. The first, I think I made $58.57 or something like that, putting on a carnival when I was like 10 years old for muscular dystrophy or one of those things. And that's the first time I went on television. Because whoever raised the most money in the tri-state area got to be on with Captain Tug on WTTV on Channel 5. And Willard Scott was Captain Tug. Isn't that funny?
Oh,
you know what in his later years, which was, you know, he just recently passed a few years ago, but he would come over to me in the makeup room at the Today Show and goes, has anybody ever told you look so much like Kathie Lee Gifford? And I said, I am Kathie Lee Gifford. He'd just go, oh, you are? He was losing it a little bit by then, but he was such a sweet man, yeah. So that was the first time I was ever on television. But, you know, the hard part is that when you can't get the truth out. You know, in our world today, and thank God there was no social media then, it was bad enough. Of course I had no sweatshops. You know, I had, to have a sweatshop, you have to have a factory, and you have to have people in need. Greed and need, right? Well, I never had a factory, and I never hired one person. But that didn't matter in the press. That's the only time that I almost left America. And I said, I'm not going to raise my children in a country that does not care about the truth. Doesn't care. You know, the truth didn't sell newspapers, you know? And everybody wanted to believe that I had sweatshops. Who wants to believe something like that? But you know what? I didn't even think they still existed. But I found out very quickly that they did. And it's interesting. Once I did, it infuriated me, you know? A lot of other people, like, who shall remain nameless, had other like sneaker deals, and you know, Nike is one of the worst sweatshops in the world. And so anyway, but somebody that worked with Nike, representing their sneakers, said, "Well, it's not my, I'm a basketball player. You know, talk to them about it. You know, and would take no accountability for it." Now I could say I'm just a TV person. I'm just an entertainer. But once it happened, you know, the Bible is very, very clear. It says all things work together for good, for those who love God and are called according to His purpose. And so I just thought, well, God, do you have a purpose in this? Because being nobody, I couldn't get my own network to tell the truth about me. I was on with Regis at that time. They said, listen, we're not firing you. And I said, for what? You know, the guy that accused me of the sweatshop stuff was, he said he was a human rights activist, but in reality, no, he worked for a garment union. And they were trying to get Walmart to unionize. It was as simple as that. And that was a long, long time. It was 1995, and they're still not unionized. But I found out that these things actually existed. Frank and I flew up to Albany, New York, and got legislation that had been languishing for 9 years. It's called the hot goods bill. It's a long time ago. I'm trying to remember these things. Let's talk about something funny in a little bit.
You're going to have an opportunity.
Sweatshops are not fun, but it was that I had languished in trying to get things done in government so hard. But maybe now we'll get some stuff done. What do y'all think?
So I'm going to segue for a minute. You mentioned Regis.
Yes.
And you were on Regis for how many years?
15.
And you all had this unbelievable chemistry.
I miss him every day. Honestly, I do. We were such close friends. And we never spoke before the show, ever. We never had writers. We had Gelman. That's it. And we spoke for 23 minutes every single day without a commercial break. And I never knew what he was going to talk about. He never knew what I was going to talk about. And it just worked because we just had fun. People said, what's the secret to your chemistry? And I said, fun. You know, then finally I'd get on the Today Show with Hoda, and I got the same thing. What's the secret to fun? It's called fun. Because if you're having fun, your audience has fun, you know? So, yeah, I've been so blessed. And I was with her 11 years.
You know, and I think, I contend, maybe incorrectly so, but I think you changed the dynamics of morning television because you brought family and life into the equation. It wasn't always about interviewing the guests, and you did that with Reacher, and then you did that with Hoda as well. And I think that's why you always were at the top of the charts, is because you were real. You are real.
We used to say when we were, what did we call it? Local piece of slime show. When we were just a local, it was called the morning show then. And we used to say, if ever somebody comes along and they want to take us national, that we will not do it unless they just don't change a thing. Don't let the suits get involved, because they don't know anything. They don't know how to make anybody laugh. They don't know how to do a soft shoe or a pratfall.
No, they're filtered, and you're not.
Well, you know, I mean, I had to be filtered.
But I mean, you're off the cuff.
Yeah, spontaneous.
You're spontaneous.
Yes, and unpredictable. And so much of television is just so way overproduced. And you can tell. You can tell. And I wasn't interested in. That's why I left Good Morning America.
Initially.
I did that.
That was your first national gig, right?
I was going to stay there for, well, no, Name That Tune was my first national show. Wow. Name That Tune in 1977.
Oh, I'd forgotten that.
I was the La La girl. And yeah, I used to have to go like, la la, and life is worth living, but only worth living if you're la la. and pretend like that was the most natural thing in the world to do. And somebody would go, born free, and make $100,000. You know, if they got the song right.
So you were the first fan of White, right?
She still got that job. Unbelievable. It's all she wanted to do. She loves doing it. She's a very sweet girl. She really is. You know, I've met an awful lot of awfully nice people in this business. Some show business gets a bad rap sometimes. Sometimes it deserves it. P. Diddy. You know, that's been going on for years and years and years. You know, he used to invite me every year. This is funny. Regis is on P. Diddy's list.
Oh, no way.
Because anybody that ever went to one of his white parties in the Hamptons in the summertime, he would always get this, he'd rent a gorgeous, gorgeous mansion somewhere and have his, I had no idea what was going on. And I don't want to judge the man, but they have an awful lot of evidence on it. But Regis would go every year. He'd go to the, of course he'd have to go home and have a nap by himself, and except for Joy. Yeah, and I saw him 2 weeks before he died. He came to my house, in Connecticut, and I saw him and Joy get out of their car, and he was so frail, Kath. And I just thought, the Lord just spoke so clearly to me. He says, you know, this is going to be the last time you're going to see him. And we laughed our butts off the entire time. We just did. And he said to her that morning, he said, we're going to cast today, right? And she said, yes, sweetheart, yes, we are. He said, I need you to do my hair. I got to look good for Kath. And it was just the sweetest thing. So anyway, he died 2 weeks later. And the Lord had told me that morning, because I had moved to Tennessee by then, get on a plane and go home. Get on, I didn't know why. I landed, and I looked at my phone, and I was told that he had passed. And so I immediately went over to their house. Joy and their two daughters were there, you know, unpacking things, packing, you know, it's such a hard time. And Frank had passed, my Frank was gone. And so, widowhood is not it's no fun. It's a club nobody wants to belong to, if you loved your husband. I mean,
well, I'm glad I'm in the Frank and Kathie club.
I know, yes. Yeah, you guys have such a cute, because she bosses him around.
Kathie Lee, don't let the secret out.
No, he loves it. Don't you? He told me that. He told me that. We were talking a little earlier. But anyway, Joy said to me, she said, Kathie, that we just had a 3-hour lunch. And we had all his favorite stuff. And she said, Kathie, that was the last time that Regis laughed. He never laughed again after that lunch. For the 2 weeks. He was fading, and nothing was funny to him.
Okay, so on that note, can you share with us one of the funniest exchanges that you remember that you all had on air? Is there anything that just
Oh my
comes
gosh, we
to
were the
mind?
first people to ever put on those sumo wrestler things. I peed my pants in the sumo suit. Honestly. Oh, be careful. She's wearing Depends too. But, anyway, yeah, we laughed so hard.
So funny.
It just we tried anything, pretty much. We were just, and then one of my favorite Halloweens was I dressed up like Regis and he dressed up like me. I don't know if you saw that. I don't mean to leave you guys out. I pulled a real bad thing in my neck. So I'll just sit like this, okay? Anyway, yeah, that was funny. And sumo, but I mean, every single day he was the best storyteller in the world. He just was. He was a master. And I just let him go. When he was on, he's on. And we just adored each other. We had so much respect for one another, because we both come from the entertainment field. A lot of people, Hoda was, award-winning journalist already when I went to join her. And I had to teach her. I didn't have to teach Regis anything. Well, he didn't sing very well. But anyway, Frank would always say at our concerts, Regis isn't a bad singer. He just can't finish a song at the high note. He says he just can't finish it. He'd go for it, but he wouldn't hardly ever hit it. But we had so much fun. We had sold out shows for 15 years. But I think the joy of what we did together was that it was completely unpredictable. When you don't have any writers, no writers at all, and I wouldn't last 5 minutes in a show today. Because they condemn you if you're honest and you're funny and you offend them. And I don't, you okay? And I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live, like that. And then be kicked to the curb. They tried to kick me out and cancel me for 60 years now. This is my 60th year in show business. I started when I was 2. No.
I was going to say, you better say you started when you were 1.
No, I started when I was 10.
But you know what? That's a wonderful way to transition to this question, because I think people would be curious. Did your parents know the second you came out that you were going into entertainment?
They did.
And when did you figure it out? Or it was just always part of your persona?
You know what I always say, I came out of my mother's womb with a pratfall and a rim shot. Ba-dum-bum. That's all I wanted to do was put on shows. And that's why when I left the show with Regis, and left the Today Show with Hoda, people say to me all the time, well, how could you leave your dream job? You left it with Regis and then you left it with Hoda. And I said, you're assuming that was my dream job. So there were no talk shows then when I was dreaming.
So since you mentioned that, if you could rewind and go back, would you pivot and have gone in a different direction ever? Would you have said, I want to be in the movies, or I want to be on Broadway, or I want to be
Well, I did want to be in the movies. Oh, no, please, Lord, no. I hate to be preached at, and I would hate preaching at other people. I teach.
Okay.
I like to teach.
Or would
Jesus
you want to
didn't preach.
Or would you want to be a teacher?
Well, I
Well,
am
you
a teacher
kinda-
through
you
my
are.
books. Through
You
my
are.
books, yeah. And that's been really rewarding for me. I started studying rabbinically quite a few years ago now. There's a book you can get called The Rock, the Road, and the Rabbi. A lot of you have come up to me and said that that book's meant a lot to you. I'm so glad. I was fizzling out as a believer. My father had a Jewish father. His father had escaped the pogroms in Russia, and so I was aware of my Jewish heritage. And my daddy was the finest, most godly man I've ever known in my life. He didn't speak much, but when he did, you remembered every word he said. He was the one that said to me, "Honey, find something you'd love to do, and then figure out a way to get paid for it." And later, he was very, very shy about and modest and you know, nothing bawdy, anything like that. So when I used to love to tease him, and I'd say, "Daddy, I'm so glad you told me that before I had sex, or I would have been a great hooker." I missed my calling, everybody.
So that's where you would have pivoted?
Yeah, doing what comes naturally. No, the only thing I did write a letter to Walt Disney when I was about 10, and I said, I know you love Haley Mills and you love Annette Funicello. Remember those names? I said, but and you do movies with them, and I wanted to, but you have to meet me. That's right. That's what I said. You need to meet me. I'm known for my, what did I say? Expressions. I'm known for my expressions. Darn if I didn't get a letter back from Walt Disney. Of course, it was a form letter, but you know, I didn't know that. And he said, "Kathie, you sound like a delightful young woman. You study hard. You do, you know, and maybe one day we'll make movies together." Well, I think I did 5 Disney movies because we worked for Disney, and you know, and I was sleeping with every producer, so it was, you know.
So we have one more. I
got a load of these stories, you know.
And I hate to say the clock's ticking because I promised everybody we always like to get out by 1, but you
1 o'clock today.
Today. I could stay all night.
Oh no, it's been fun.
You wrote, directed, produced a Broadway musical, Amy Semple McPherson.
Yes, it was about Amy Semple McPherson. It was called Scandalous. It got a Tony nomination, but it closed in 3 weeks because of Hurricane Sandy, and also Jesus was not the most popular person on Broadway.
But it was in Washington for 6 weeks, wasn't it?
Yes, it was in Washington. I had 3 different tryouts all over the country for it, and I worked on it for 13 years. 13 years. I had well over a couple of hundred rewrites, and Hurricane Sandy came, and my show closed 3 weeks later. And that was a tough time too, because I said, "Lord, why did you let me? Why did you want me here? Why did you?" And you know what? Here's what I do know. A lot of people used to say to me, "What are you doing in show business? You know, you call yourself a Christian." And I said, "Well, I said, how could I be in show business if I wasn't a believer in Yeshua, Jesus?" Because it's one of the most brutal businesses in the whole world. You get so much rejection. And I said, "And you have no idea how many people I share my faith with. They're stuck with me in a movie, set. They're stuck with me in a recording studio. They're stuck with me when I'm, making albums and doing everything." I'm telling you, I did a little movie. I wrote it for him. Do you guys know who Craig Ferguson is? I wrote a movie called Then Came You. In fact, I co-wrote all the music with Julie Haller's brother. She's right over there. Brett James wrote how many hits has he had? So many. But his probably his biggest one, right, honey? Would we Jesus Take the Wheel? Huh? He got a Grammy for that. Yeah. He's so anyway. She's here. We became friends. And what was I going to tell you? Oh, Craig would say to me, "Kathie, he's Scottish. I'm not going to." I used to be able to do him perfectly. "I still don't believe in your guy." And I go, I said, our guy? And he goes, okay, our guy. But I don't. You know, I don't believe it. And I said, that's okay. He believes in you. And we'd talk and talk and talk. And then he was an agnostic. And I said, you're my favorite agnostic in the whole world. And Ricky Gervais is my favorite atheist. And I told him that too. And then one day, Craig says to me, you know, Kathie, why do you love me and Ricky? We're not good guys. We don't believe anything you believe. Nothing. We don't believe anything. And I said, well, but I adore you both. You're so much fun. Nobody makes me laugh harder than them, and except for Regis, he did. And so I said, and you're made in the image of God, whether you believe in him or not. And God loves everyone that he creates. He loves you. And you happen to be actually lovable. And he said something to me that I never forgot. He said, you know, Kathie, in all the years, Ricky and I have never had one person of faith tell us that they love us. Wow. And I said, well, then you've never met one. Because that's all we're supposed to be doing. All we're supposed to be doing is telling people. And I'll just end with this. About, I guess 6 months ago or something, I get a call from him. You got to hear him one more time. And he goes, Kathie, I'm coming to Nashville, and I'm coming to see you. And I go, oh, that's fantastic. Why? He goes, I've got a podcast now, and I want you to be my first guest. So I said, oh, I'll move heaven and earth for it. He came, and I would always hump his leg. Yes. Well, he was always fully clothed. But when we saw each other, and he'd swing me around, and I'd just do a phony hump. And he's like my brother. Stop it. Well, anyway, we did the podcast. It was supposed to be an hour. It was 3 hours. And he talked a little bit about Regis, and then it was all about Jesus, all about faith, all about the Bible. And I don't know, you know how the Bible says, don't worry about what you'll say because the Lord will give you utterance, you'll know what to say. Honestly, I never fulfilled, not for 1 second. And then I went to say goodbye to him, and he goes, Kathie, you know all the times that we talked, all the hours, and everywhere. And I said, yeah. He goes, I'm starting to think it's all true.
What a wonderful way to end this.
Yeah, and his podcast is called Joy. I would never use a word like joy to describe him. He's brilliant, and he's hysterically funny, and he's all of those things, but now he has joy.
Well, you are nothing but joy.
Oh, no.
You are nothing but joy, and I have to say, this has been such a joyful occasion for all of us here to welcome you back to Oklahoma.
Thank you,
we'd like to
sweetheart.
claim you as one of ours. You started in Tulsa a long time ago.
Yeah.
You're always welcome. Please come back again.
Thank you. I promise to clean it up next time.
Oh, please don't. Kathie Lee Gifford.
Thank you. Oh, shoot.
You don't need to carry that.
Oh, don't.
No.
I can't lift it.
No.
I just had a hip replacement, so I'm a little wobbly.
Well, was that fun or not? I have to show you something. I don't know why I did. I wrote pages of questions just in case. And I really didn't think I was going to need them, but I wanted to be prepared. We didn't get to pass the first one. Kathie is just one in a million and a dear friend, and she doesn't do this anymore. She did it for you all. So I want to give her a round of applause again. My dear friend, Kathie Lee Gifford. Okay, I think we're ready to get the show, wrap up the show. It's been such an honor being with you all today. And Judy and Lynn, I have to cue them in, excuse me. They clue me in. Okay, Judy.
Ready?
It's all you.
Okay, good. It's all us. So before we wrap up today, I've got a couple of closing notes for you all. Please make sure that you take home the treats, the M&Ms that are all about Annie Oakley, and the phenomenal personally signed book that Kathie Lee did for every single one of you in the room, Herod and Mary. And if you haven't read her other books, you should go buy them also. I can tell you, they're phenomenal. So, Lynn, you want to take it away?
And Kathie, I think you're working on a series, aren't you?
Yes.
She's working on a series, so you want to read this one so you'll be ready for the next.
Yeah, the first one's called Herod and Mary, and we'll get in it. And if you know what I would suggest you all do, is listen to the audio version.
Listen to the audio version. I'm repeating what she's saying, because you narrated the whole, the book.
4 days to do it, because it's the only name that is easy in that world at the first century AD, in the world of Rome, in the world of Israel, and all that, is Herod's first wife was named Doris.
I don't think you all can hear her. She said, no, I'm going to repeat. She said it took her 4 days because of the words are so hard to pronounce, and the only one that was easy was Herod's first wife, whose name was Doris.
Okay.
He murdered everybody.
Yes, he did. Okay, well, if you can, please linger, and please feel free to shop at our store, which is fantastic, filled with wonderful things. Persimmon Hill, you'll receive a 15% discount, and you can find many fabulous pieces, just like the one that Judy is wearing, right? And we invite you to remain and talk and have a nice conversation with your friends. So on behalf of Judy and Kathie and myself and the members of the Annie Oakley Society, may I say thank you for joining us, and God bless America.
Happy trails.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Some trails are happy ones, others are blue. It's the way you ride that trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to